And a look across all the skyscrapers here in Cleveland, the site of our broadcast for tonight. Welcome, fans. Thanks for joining us for this Friday night edition of the NBA on 2K Sports.
Ready to go?
Along with Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. The Cleveland Cavaliers coming to this one after a win against the Nuggets in Denver.
And how about the accuracy that was on display from three-point range in that game? They were lethal.
Yeah, splashing those threes as they did really allowed them to continuously deflate that crowd and keep them at bay. Boy, that was a nice road win for them, no doubt.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. On the floor for Boston, Booker out there with Derrick Rose. Then there's DeAndre Jordan, and it's Reese in at the small forward position. Cleveland on defense. And guys, this is the first they're seeing of Boston.
A splendid pass that time by Rose.
Last game for Boston, they picked up the W against the Raptors.
And it goes back to what's been their strength, really on the interior. From a defensive standpoint, they just defended the rim as well as you could.
Yeah, I thought it was really impressive the way they did it, guys. They were alert, they were active, they were aware, and their reaction to shots was outstanding.
Here's Booker. No good on the buzzer beater. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And what do you guys think about Boston here in this one?
And we've really seen them get out and establish a real nice rhythm offensively in this game.
Yeah, and they're finding ways to score multiple ways, playing well and sharing the ball, just operating good at the offensive end.
We've got Teague, Oubre out there with Randall, and it's Gardner in at the 4. That's the group for Cleveland going right now here in the second. Clock at 4. Here's Randall. Takes the elbow jumper and drains it. Randall's got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for the Cavs. The 3. No good. That's miss number 2. He's 1 for 3. And here's Oubre. Takes a 3. Booker pulls it in. Embiid kicks to Rose. Passes it to Reese. Booker in the corner. Here's Daly. Drilled it right as the clock hit. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
I would call that a competitive first half of action. And that's it for halftime as the second half is just...
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. On the floor for Boston, we've got DeAndre Jordan. Derrick Rose is out there with Booker, and it's Reese in at the 3 spot. Moutier dishes to Jefferson. Right side, George. There's the killer two-handed slam.
And I tell you what, he looks fresh coming out of halftime if that possession's any indication.
Here's Booker. Not enough on that one as it misses.
The defense needs to play tight on him, and that's exactly what they did to force that miss. Well done.
And it's George missing. Boston leading by 3. And the wide open shot from Rose. Moutier with the rebound.
And even though he missed that, you have to take those shots when you get the opportunity.
Exactly. They don't come much better or easier than that.
George, that's a 2-pointer. George missing again.
But that would have been lucky had it fallen. Poor shot selection.
Yeah, look at the coach's face. And the...
Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the fourth quarter. A terrific game so far. Oubre out there with Julius Randle. Then it's Paul George. Then it's Moutier. And it's Jefferson in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the 5 for Cleveland right now.
Reese. Timeout, Cleveland.
And the Cavaliers call time here. They're losing by 6. There's 47 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sideline.
Well, over the break, I listened in on David Blatt's huddle. He said, no time to waste, fellas. We've got to pick it up right now if we're going to make a comeback and try to win this thing. Let's go all out. Back to you.
Austin making a switch here. Embiid's checked in. And George, here we go. It's blocked. They get it back, and they go to the intentional foul. Teague is checked in for Oubre. Booker with it. Goes up on the wing. Randall grabs the board.
Can't get anything to drop. I mean, the way he's going is probably not something he should try and shoot his way out of.
Well, they say you should shoot your way out of it, but his teammates probably have other thoughts in mind. The last thing they want to see him doing is continuing to cast that jumper up.
So he gets them both, and it's an 8-point game. Timeout called, Cleveland. They're trailing by 8. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. One second separating the shot clock and game clock. George passes to Moutier. A clear look for Hardaway. And good. He nails it. And an intentional foul right there.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
But there was no time really to be selective. Stopping the clock was the priority.
And he hits both free throws here. So now it's an 8-point game. And here's George for 3. The shot will not go. From deep. No good there. So we see Boston get
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, much appreciated, and now he's not always known to make the big headlines or get a lot of media attention, but he does make. And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game.